This is my Brother PQ1500sl. In this video, I'm going to show you how to disassemble and reassemble the tension assembly. But before I do that, I did a video discussing how to thread this machine, and someone wanted me to do a close-up view of one of the steps showing how to thread around the tension dial. So I'm going to briefly discuss that, and then we'll get back to discussing the tension assembly. From the 3-hole guide, you'll take your thread, go through this guide, horizontal guide, take your thread clockwise around the tension dial, up and over the take-up spring. This is your take-up spring. See how the thread rests? Grab it. See how the thread rests on the take-up spring? And then you'll just go on to the next guide. Now we can disassemble the tension assembly. You will not need a screwdriver for this step. However, I do recommend that you use a camera, perhaps your cell phone, to take pictures. So the first thing we will remove is the tension dial. This is your tension dial. You'll just turn it to the left counterclockwise. Just hold it. You don't want anything to fall out. All we're doing now is just removing the tension dial. This is your tension dial. Next is the tension spring sleeve. This is the sleeve, and it holds 2 springs, a large spring, spring A, and a small spring, spring B. And just put them back together and off to the side. Next is the tension dial case. It has the numbers 1 through 6. The washer, and last is plate B or disc B. We are not going to remove plate A. You can see that the take-up spring is attached to plate A. At this point, you can just take your brush and just brush it. Look for any loose threads. Okay, now we are going to reassemble. Start with plate B. The washer. The washer has a finger that extends at the bottom right here. If I turn it sideways, it's going to be like a 90-degree angle. Can you see it? It's real tiny. Well, you want that to face you when you place it on. This part right here. You want this to face you. See it? You want it to face you. The next is the tension dial case. You want the numbers to face you upright. And then we have our tension spring sleeve. Put it on as 1 unit. We want this tension dial case, see how it's leaning off to the left? It needs to be centered. So I'm going to center it and then put the sleeve back on. And then last is the tension dial. what I'm going to do, I'm going to pause the video because I need to reposition my camera for the next step. So I'm going to pause it. For this step, you will need to hold your tension dial case so that this space right here is centered. Looking for my brush. This space right here needs to be centered. So I'm holding my tension dial case tight. See this notch here? I'm holding it as far as this notch will go. And then I'm going to take my tension dial and screw it on. Up to 4 is standard. Okay, and you want that to be tight. That's why you have to hold it. Okay, again, I'm going to pause my video so that we can listen to the machine and you can see the stitches. Now that I have reassembled the tension assembly, I'm going to let you look at the stitches and hear the sound of the machine. Okay, here are the stitches. Let's see if I can brighten the camera. Here are the stitches, top stitches. And the bottom, I'm sorry, but I used brown thread, but this is how they're supposed to look. Bobbin stitches. Okay, well that concludes the video. I hope you found it helpful, and I want to thank you for watching.